everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today is Weight Loss Wednesday, so we're gonna do kind of a 2, maybe 3-part series about how I lost 6 dress sizes in just 4 months. And it's not gonna be anything that you're gonna see normally when it comes to these videos. So I'm gonna be talking about my nutrition, my workouts, and possibly my sleep habits, because sleep is essential when it comes to weight loss. So a lot of people have asked me lately, like, what diet am I doing? Am I doing keto? Do I do intermittent fasting? Do I do all these other, I guess, fad diets? And the reality is I don't. So before we get into that, let me introduce myself. My name is Shannon. I am a 35-year-old mother to 3 beautiful babies, and I am currently on a journey to get back to my fit, active self. So what we're going to talk about is the fact that I don't do necessarily fad diets. I do things based off of a calorie deficit and macros. So yes, a lot of people have heard of macro counting, but I don't think they actually really understand what macro counting is. So the goal for me for macro counting is obviously to lose my weight, make sure I have enough protein for my lifts, and to rebuild my muscles and recover correctly, and then to eventually, not need to count them when I look. I was like, okay, so that piece of chicken is roughly the size of my palm, so that's going to be 4 to 5 grams of protein. That's a good source of protein for me. That's my goal, is ultimately not to have to worry about that. So we're going to go over the 3 main macros, the calories per macros, and how many calories I eat. And then we're going to actually talk about kind of how I stay on plan. And I want to put out there, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a trainer. I get help with these numbers. I go and I seek active people who are professionals with certifications for these numbers. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about the 3 ones. We've got our proteins, our carbs, and our fats. So proteins, I eat roughly 160 grams of protein, and those are 4 calories per gram. I eat 160 grams of carbohydrates, which is again 4 calories per gram. Then you also have your fats, and I actually eat 40 grams of fat, and fat has 9 calories per gram. Now, one that we're not going to talk about really too much, but I want to put out there, is that alcohol does have calories, even though people think that they don't, or that they claim they're lower this. Per gram of alcohol is 7 calories. So it is almost as much as fat. So keep that in mind if you are drinking, that you do need to count those because they do have calories. I eat roughly 1,640 calories. I try to plan out my meals roughly a week ahead of time. I log all my food at the beginning of the day, so I know if I need to adjust anything. And I actually am fortunate enough that I've been able to not only meal prep when needed, but I've started using a service called Fit Flavors. So Fit Flavors is local here to the St. Louis Metro, and they actually deliver food, and it's healthy, it's made from scratch, and they include all of their macros, the calories, everything on the packaging. So I literally just got to pop it in the microwave for like 2 minutes and I'm good to go. I have all of this saved in my first Phorm app. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and pop up this first Phorm app that I use when it comes to my macronutrients, and I will kind of be back here in a second to talk some more. Alright, now that you guys have seen that, I did recently get a Fit Flavors order, so I kind of wanted to do kind of an opening for you, show you the packaging, show you what I get. I got some of my favorite meals, like the shrimp Alfredo, the southern low carb dinner. I eat pancakes for breakfast. So don't think that just because you're trying to eat healthy that you're gonna have to restrict the type of food you eat, because in reality you don't. You just have to find ways to fit it into how you're eating. And I'm a blueberry pancake in the morning girl. I love the cheese enchiladas for breakfast with eggs, and shrimp Alfredo. I mean, noodles, Alfredo sauce, shrimp. So go ahead and enjoy this opening, and I'll be right back. right, so I want to talk a little bit about how I eat and the restrictions that I do have. So I actually do have a food allergy. It stemmed from something when I was younger, and it also made it so I'm an extremely picky eater. So I can't eat anything that has pork in it. So a lot of people like to eat their gummies and their jelly beans and jello and pudding, and I can't eat any of that. So like when people talk about, you know, oh, we could try that turkey sausage, a lot of the times the casing is made from pork lined casing. So I do have food restrictions, and that's another reason why it was really fortunate that I found a food service that, you know, I could really look at the ingredients and pick the food that fits for my lifestyle and for my allergies. Another thing is we didn't understand when I was younger that I was allergic to these items. Like I was always getting sick, and it actually made me avoidant. It's called avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. So it actually made it so I would avoid certain foods like orange. Eating anything orange is so hard for me right now. I didn't really eat a lot of oranges when I was a kid either, and it all stemmed from orange jello of all things, and me not knowing I was allergic to it because of the gelatin. So I've actually been working on that as well. So just because you have a food allergy or you're suffering from an illness, you can still find a way to conquer it. I'm still finding ways to eat off my macros. I'm still finding ways to decrease my food intake and actually feel full, and that's one of the major reasons I have a lot of proteins in my diet as well. The more protein you eat, the fuller you feel. So this is part 1 of a 3-part series. I know it's not going to be as extravagant as everything else, but I am actually looking forward to hearing any questions you guys have. So I'm just going to retouch that I eat off of a macro-based program. I eat in a calorie deficit, and when I say calorie deficit, we're talking 1,640 calories, not 1,200. And then I just sit there and I make sure to get my workouts in. So on the next video for next Wednesday, we're going to go ahead and talk about how I work out and what I do on a daily basis to increase my movement. So thank you so much for coming and watching this video. If you can, please go ahead and comment down below. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and comment. I try to be as active as possible. Give this video a thumbs up, and if you like this content, please subscribe. Bye!